Good morning, good morning. How are we doing today? It is Tuesday out here in the stock market. A lot of people like to call it Taco Tuesday. Nonetheless, I'm calling it Government Shutdown Tuesday. It's a pretty wild day out there. I can't believe how high the chances of a government shutdown have become. It's pretty insane to say. What is up? The power of bots. Joe Papa, Goose, Jake, Raul, James, Dark O'Clock, Steve, and Iceman. SPY getting volatile here at open already. You know, little up and down action. Loves to do that. QQQ pulling back down to 597 towards that low from pre-market already at open. Not too much back and forth with QQQ. Pretty much straight down there. Getting some of the tech stocks getting a little bit weak, it sounds like. Looking at the Mag 7 setup here. Pretty brutal. Amazon down. Microsoft down. Google down. Tesla down, SPY, Nvidia, everything's down from open. Except for Apple. They're up 0.26%. Everything else is in the red, though, on the Mag 7. Not the best open, I guess. But then again, we are in a very weird environment today. Wouldn't you guys agree? Very strange environment for the market here. Not your typical day, I would say. Pretty insane stats. I can't believe that over the past few days we've been looking at a lot of the government shutdown statistics like this one that we're showing right here. And this statistic, it really shows that, you know, the market goes green 50% of the time during shutdowns. That's a pretty crazy stat to me. I thought it would have been well under 50%, just given all the terrible price action and negative news associated with this. One stock that went crazy this morning is CoreWeave. I don't know if any of you guys noticed this one at all. Oh yeah, Chase just put it in the chat. Iceman, CoreWeave. Oh yeah, CoreWeave had some good news with Meta. $14 billion deal. Pretty solid to see. AI and cloud computing deal. $14.2 billion. Sounds pretty great. Moving well. Over 140 right now. Like to see it. Great PA by CoreWeave. Breaking out above their recent high as well. They'd been stuck under there for a few days. Breaking through that 138 to 140 resistance here. Shout out CoreWeave and Hood, Mr. Charles said. How's Hood this morning? Oh my gosh, there we go. Robinhood, yes. Up through 140 even. Perfect break from open. Whoa, guys. Robinhood getting it going again. Wow. Hood. What a ripper. Up 3% today. They were up like 12% yesterday. I don't know if you guys saw that or not, but it was pretty good. Oh my gosh, I'm going to have to show you guys the CoreWeave book map. Wow, that is pretty insane, all the sellers stacked up on CoreWeave. Wow. That's a lot of sellers stacked up there overhead. I'm going to show you guys this. This is pretty insane. It's like 100,000 shares, 100,000 shares. Every like 50 cents, there's another 100,000 shares. I've seen this on CoreWeave actually the past few weeks. It's pretty insane. It's pretty insane. I don't know what goes on with this. Obviously, there's some big players out there with a lot of sell orders going in. 20 minutes, we have the JOLTS jobs report. Could be pretty big for the market here today. Good morning, Tangy Man. Good morning, good morning. Jake said Hood is printing for him. Beautiful. That's what I want to hear. Let's go ahead and look at the watch list. What's leading it to the downside today? It's Tilray. Oh no, the MJ stocks. Wow. Yeah, it's pretty strange. Down 10%. They were doing so well yesterday. They were doing great yesterday. Now Reddit's down 3%. They're on the downside. Intel's down over 3%. Unfortunate pullback for them. You know, they'd been doing pretty well recently, but they will have pullbacks mixed into the uptrend, of course. I will say, with how much they've uptrended lately, I wouldn't even be surprised if they came back for another test of $30 or something. It wouldn't be that crazy to me. Would not be that crazy. Meta's down, so CoreWeave is not helping them. Oh yeah, Meta. Pretty big pullback there, 745. Brutal. Down to 730. Wow, 730. Dang. Yeah, that is quite the pullback, I'll say. CoreWeave's not helping them. Yeah, 1.5%. A lot of times when the company is the investor, they end up dropping a little bit in the short term. Of course, they add on debt or lose cash, etc. Obviously, that affects them a little bit when they start buying another business, but sometimes you'll see them pop. Again, it's not something that happens every time, but I will say a lot of the times the buying company does end up falling a little bit, whether they're buying out a company, whether they're just putting a stake or something like, right? Something like that is a pretty big deal. I guess 14 billion is a pretty big number too. Could be bigger, but some of these deals we've seen lately are crazy. I like it, Goose. Smash the like. Appreciate that. you're just now joining up, destroy that like button. Also, hit that subscribe if you are new to the live streams. Go live every morning at market open. CoreWeave still doing pretty good here today. I know they pulled back slightly, but starting to come up off the dip. Coming up for a new high of day retest. Check in on some of these Mag 7 stocks like Amazon that are still pulling back down 1.2%. Going back to Mag 7, yeah, Amazon's one of the worst movers from open, I'd say. Pretty straight down. SPY's starting to come back, I gotta say, though. Look at NVIDIA. NVIDIA's roaring back in the bottom left corner there. Wow. Kind of surprising me. Quite the comeback. Good rip. Might be coming up to test the high from yesterday, actually. This is a pretty good first resistance that they're getting to, though, around 183, 184. 183.50, I guess. 184 is critical overhead, though. 185 is their all-time high. So who knows? If they get enough momentum here today, maybe they will be able to push up to a new all-time high. Citigroup maintains buy on NVIDIA, raises price target to 210. That would be nice. See it move up to 210 in the short term when the all-time high is at 185. Let's go ahead and throw a poll out there with the government shutdown. What do you guys think? Do you guys think that the government's really going to shut down? Personally, I think there's a decent chance. I do. Right now, I do. Kalshi has it at 80%. Let's go ahead and just throw it out there. Like, what do you think? Do you think it'll shut down? Do you think it won't? It happens tonight, just after midnight. 11:59 p.m. will strike, 12 midnight will strike, and then at 12:01 on Wednesday morning is when the shutdown will occur. James said he thinks it'll shut down. All right, let's vote up in the poll. What do we think? Do you think the government will shut down after tonight at 12:01 a.m. Eastern Time tomorrow morning? Yes, it will occur. No, shutdown will not occur, or I don't care. Sometimes I'm surprised how many I don't cares we get, but it happens. Look at NVIDIA, 183.60 now, really extending up towards that 184 range. That is crazy to say right here. Where's the betting site? You can do Kalshi or Polymarket, I believe. You can probably even use like other websites that I don't really know about, but Kalshi and Polymarket are two very popular prediction markets. I don't know if it's offered on stuff like DraftKings or sports bookies or something. Had to check on some of these bigger tech stocks like Nvidia. Can't believe how much they started ripping there in the short term. There goes SPY turning right back over with the volatility. Wow, look at those volatile candles here today. Creating a bit of an M shape. A little double top action close to 663.20. 663.30. Right around that range. Good morning, Ryan. Good morning, good morning. How are you doing today? Hopefully all solid. Swamped in work, etc. Pretty good. Pretty solid, I suppose. Wish the market was doing more ahead of this shutdown, honestly. I know, right, Goose? I was actually looking for that yesterday, and I noticed that they didn't have it. I was looking for that, though. That's funny you said that. Should be going to the Yankees-Red Sox playoff game. Are the playoffs starting now? Finally. Yeah, I gotta say finally on that one. I've been waiting for the baseball playoffs for a little while now. I would say 99% of people use their own capital, Amin. There's actually like a lot of rules and regulations against using funding from other places and stuff. Now, of course, there's weird things that you can do. Like, I don't know if you're talking about some of those weird websites that'll, I don't know, with a lot of stipulations, like fund you an account. That stuff's kind of, it's kind of crazy. I wouldn't really get into any of that. I forgot what they even call it. It's a very weird name, but. Yeah, prop firms, that's it. You got it. Go talk to Hunter about those in the Discord. He'll give you a good rundown. He knows all about them, Amin. Jolts coming up in a few, Jake said. Yeah, you better be really serious about it, like Chase said, because it's pretty difficult to abide by all of their rules, usually. Usually you end up screwed, so. I always see brand new traders try it, and I'm like, why are you trying that if you can't even win on your own account? More data is coming out today at 10. Yes, Jolts data, Jane. Yeah, Jolts jobs data is releasing in about 6 minutes or so, which will be pretty interesting here. We'll have to see how it comes out, ends up moving the market or not. Of course, there's a couple different scenarios. Let's say it comes in and shows that the jobs market is weakening. That would be good for rate cuts. If it comes in and shows that the jobs market is strengthening, it would kind of go away from rate cuts a little bit. Let's go ahead and refresh the FedWatch tool. Let's see what we're at on the rate cut percentage before this comes out. Sitting at 92.5% for a cut at the next meeting. That's a pretty big deal there. 92.5%. That's a pretty big percentage. Pretty huge percentage there. 4 minutes away. Hopefully it's up. My husband needs a job. While the jobs market's been weakening, you know, they've actually attributed a lot of the weakness to anti-immigration policies and things like that from the Trump admin. Now, again, that might not be the total story, but still. What day was that July reading? July 29th? Let's go see what the market did July 29th. I'm just curious, just to... It was kind of red. Didn't really do all that much. Oh, yeah. We were looking at Trump's Truth Social marijuana post.
It is only fractionally and over a long time.
Sorry about that. I hope it wasn't too loud. Let's see. September 3rd was another one. Let's see that reading. September 3rd. Looks like very back and forth those days. Now we're 2 minutes out. Let's see if Jolts gets us to break 662. There's a very critical support on SPY right now, heading into the Jolts data. We can see here where SPY bottomed yesterday and where it bottomed in pre-market multiple times today. Multiple times. It's a pretty big level here for the SPY. Bouncing pretty well so far. Or at this very second, we should say. Should get the data here coming out in just a moment. Don't forget to vote up in the poll if you're new. Or you're just now joining up. Do you think the government will shut down after tonight at 12:01 a.m. Eastern Time tomorrow morning? Looks like the vast majority say shutdown will occur. All right, here we go with jolts. Let's switch over to the 1-minute chart. So far, doing pretty good. So far, so good. Jolts came in at 7.227 million. Right around the consensus from what I see. Strange, the chart's not updating for it, the one on Trading Economics for some reason. I'm trying to refresh it to get the chart to update. But it did come in at 7.227 million. Here's the chart itself, I guess, if you want to see how it's not refreshing here. It just keeps showing the July reading, not the August one for some reason. Even though the August one just released. Either way, 7.227. Right around expectations. I don't think it's anything too surprising. Looks like the market doesn't really care too much about it. Again, with it being right around expectations, it's not really anything overly scary right now for the stock market. So we're probably not going to see a big drop-off or anything in that regard. $662, holding up very well, though. Interesting how it's still held. Wow, pretty nice jump. Moving up towards next resistance even. Great intraday resistance yesterday around 663.70. We haven't gotten there quite yet today. We're actually at high of the day for right now. But the 663.70 area is critical. Power of bots said NVIDIA is crazy. Let's see NVIDIA. Whoa, powering much higher, 1.6%. Sheesh, that is quite the run. No wonder SPY is ripping as much as it is. The biggest stock in the S&P 500 is on fire. And then you said Amazon, which is dying. It's been dying, but it's starting to recover slightly, which is solid. Grabbing a book map real fast. Tesla. Pretty flat and stagnant today, I'd say. Man, that rip. Nvidia is testing the all-time high right now. They might have just posted a new all-time. They did. That's a pretty big move there. New all-time high, technically. Wow. Crazy to say. Crazy to say, considering all this crazy news going on. What crazy stocks are you guys watching? I know CoreWeave is still one of the bigger players from today. It still had a great move at open. Still in play right now, potentially. Still is in play. The subscription, Trump Corp. What a name. Can metals go up if government shutdown is coming? You know, looking at gold here in the short term, that's been a big topic on a lot of people's minds here. Gold and GLD is really at the forefront. A lot of people are worried about gold. Oh no. All right, are we all set? Hopefully everything's stabilized now. Actually ordered a whole bunch of new stuff today. Yeah. Hopefully it's all good now. Is it good now, Jake? GLD is exploding with this news. Wow. Okay. We are back. We are back. Sorry about that. Internet has been wild here over the past couple days. Don't know what's been going on. Past couple days, out of nowhere, things have got crazy. Reddit is down too, Ryan said. Reddit's down a lot today. 5%. I think we looked at these guys at open. They were down towards the bottom of the watch list. Yeah, they are. Unfortunately, UUUU is down a ton too. Pretty fun stock in the short term. Too bad it had to die off like that. Energy Fuels. It is moving a bit higher now intraday, but it's down a lot from last night and after hours. What was the big news there? Private offering. Brutal when you do that. $550 private offering convertible senior notes due 2031. Wow, okay. Smart to do it at that time after their stock just ripped that much. Smart timing by them, but not good if you're a UUUU shareholder right now. That's for sure. Oh yeah, Tangi said it was time. Yeah, I bet a lot of people were probably guessing it would happen. Mixed sentiment? Kramer said they don't make money? Oh no, if Kramer says that, then there's a problem. That means we need to buy it. No, I'm kidding. Of course. Jack Black said Starlink's tripping. Trump's been live for a little while, hasn't he, Juan? He's going to talk all day and all night. Trump has so much energy. He can run circles around most of us, Jane said. He does seem like he's got a lot, or he did. Not like UEC and CCJ of stockpiles of yellow cake. Does Cameco, Tangi? But not like UEC. Uranium Energy Corp. UEC. Yeah, they've had a pretty... they've had a better move than I even thought that they had this year, Tangi. Didn't even realize that they went from like 4 all the way up to 15. I didn't think it was quite that good. Wow. How is URA done? I'm surprised. Even like the ETF URA is done really well. I mean, it makes sense, but just like, being up well over 100%. Oh, okay. Check back in on Palantir here. 179 support. Looks solid. I like these wicks touching 179. That's pretty perfect right there. Speaking of Palantir, how's Tilray? 9% to the downside today. Still keep looking back at these, wondering if they're going to end up popping back. Doesn't look like it. Does not look like it right now. Did Trump say something about Pfizer? Wow. Trump just announced White House to announce Trump RX drug buying website and deal with Pfizer. Wow. Sounds solid. Here's a headline from Walter. It's a pretty big deal. Yeah, Pfizer's jumping a little bit, 3.7%. Trump RX, drug buying website. I'm going to be using Trump RX. Trump Corp is like, yeah. Oh, that's funny. That's pretty insane. Man, Pfizer's getting some action from that, though. Let's go read more about this. White House planning to unveil a direct-to-consumer website for Americans to buy drugs, dubbed Trump RX, as well as announced that Pfizer plans to lower prices on several of its medications in the U.S., according to people familiar with the matter. Trump RX would allow people to pay cash for certain drugs directly through a government website at a discounted price negotiated by the government. It's unclear how many drugs would be offered or whether the website would be useful for the majority of Americans who are already covered by private insurance, Medicare, or Medicaid. Pfizer is expected to be the first to announce the plan to lower drug costs after Trump pushed companies for months to lower prices in the U.S. More companies are expected to follow suit. Very interesting here. Very interesting. Sounds like Trump's getting some shit done. Getting Pfizer to lower drug prices. I don't know if they're going to be doing it on stuff that matters, like it says here, but still, interesting. Sounds like they're actually getting some shit accomplished with some drug prices. Sounds interesting. Maybe more companies will come through, like it said. More companies are expected to follow suit. I mean, doesn't sound terrible. He's gonna get clapped for mixing politics with business? Uh-oh. Not that he cares. Yeah, true. Easy Pfizer scalp, Michael said. There you go. Joe Papa, what do you think of the PDT reduced to $2,000? You think that there'll be a lot more movement? I think that there could be, Joe Papa. I think there could be. I'm worried that it's going to make a lot of people lose a lot of their money faster. I'm a little bit worried about that. You know, if, like, what if you're a brand new trader, you don't really know what you're doing, and then you just go nuts for a month? You know, it's not going to be the best necessarily, I wouldn't think. If that makes sense. Blew up 20K one time at zero risk management coupled with zero luck. Yeah, I mean, I did it back in the day. A lot of dumb decisions. You got to start really buckling down. How's UNH? We're looking at Pfizer here. Maybe the NASDAQ? Yeah, a lot of people do, Jane, really. It's a pretty common thing to have happen whenever you are brand new to trading, and especially if you're going a bit nuts in the beginning and you don't know what you're doing. It's pretty common to have happen. Some people's blow-ups are bigger than others, though, before they start learning. I thought I was bad for blowing up a 5K account last year, Jack Black said. Sorry about that. Yeah, my husband still brings up all the money I lost, but now he's unemployed and can't get back to business. I tell him, oh, I see, Jane. He's left me alone ever since. I feel like being greedy plays a big part of learning and growing accounts. It definitely does, Jin. It definitely does. I know, there's so many different bad thoughts, right? Whenever you're thinking about stuff like that. Mark Cuban's RX site is trustworthy, Dark O'Clock said. What is that called? Cost plus drugs, is that what it is? Yeah, cost plus drugs, I see it. Interesting. Never heard of that one before. Just think of it as the cost for your education. Don't think of it that way. Go see Tesla down here. Wow, Tesla's starting to turn over pretty hard, guys. I don't like the way Tesla's turning over here. I'm getting a bit more bearish on it, actually. That's a pretty rough move down today. Tesla looks like it wants to turn over. Jack Black's up 33% on Pfizer. Could PFE be in play till Friday? Let's see that daily chart action. Yeah, I do think that there's a possibility it could be in play. Maybe for at least like one more day. Maybe not all the way to Friday, but, you know, at least for like a day or two longer, yeah. I think it's plausible. You know, today's like the first recovery day. Has the stream been solid and stuff, guys? Have everything all good here? No more lag, hopefully. Thanks for that video yesterday. I'm taking profits today on many of my positions to have some cash to buy in within October. There we go, Dark. I think that's a smart thing to do. I think that's really smart. Wow, the second that I ask you guys that, I start lagging. That's funny.